to the music scene, showing lots of love for the community. With great advice, I know who I should go see. So all around town radio show is where I go for the latest band info.
All right, everybody. Good afternoon. I guess it is now. It's noon. It's Nooner here from All Around Town Radio. It's Wednesday with the band, and we're going to bring you some great artists today, as we always do on a Wednesday. Want to welcome you to the program, and we'll get started right now with our friends that are going to join us from Allison Road today. How you doing, everybody? You guys doing all right?
Yeah, doing great. Thanks for having us.
Good. We're all hearing all right. We're live from, it looks like a great guitar studio in the background up there with Parker. And then Allie's live from the car.
Yeah, on my lunch break.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you could join us for this today. And we'll get started right away because I want to get some background about you guys for our viewers that don't know you. And as we are live here, we know on a Wednesday at noon, viewership's not always going to be huge at noon, but people are going to watch this later. So if you have questions for Allie or for Parker about their band or themselves, please drop it in the comments. They'll be monitoring this on their page as they share it, and so will we. And we'd be glad to answer any of your questions for you about the band. So let's get started, guys. How long y'all been together as Allison Road? Who wants to take that one?
You want me to go?
I think it's 3 years now, right?
Yeah, we started in 2022 as a full band, but Parker and I actually started playing a little bit before that in 2021. Was it 2020 or 2021? I think
during
it's
that COVID era, right? All that stuff going on, yeah. I was doing solo stuff during COVID because no one would have bands, so I started playing everything solo acoustic, and then when I got pregnant and my belly got too big to hold my guitar, I enlisted Parker, and he convinced me to put a full band together. So 2022, here we, from there to now, here we are. So the band name, Allison Road, talk about that. How'd you come up with that?
I got to give credit where credit is due on that one. That's my dad. There is a road off of Route 4 towards Mechanicsburg called Allison Road. And anytime we would pass there as a kid, if I was in the car, I'd be like, "It's my road, Daddy." And when we formed my band way back in 2012, a different version of the band, he named it Allison Road, and it just kind of stuck. So, yeah. Well,
I can honestly say I would have never expected that to be the answer. So that's really cool. That's a great story.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Parker. The Gin Blossoms route. Is that where you were going to go?
I didn't hear you there, Parker. I lost you for a minute.
I said, were you going to guess the Gin Blossoms route for that?
No, I wasn't going to go there, but I was going to think that there was just some subliminal little tweak to that name that you threw in there. But I think it's great that there was that history with your dad and all that, and that he could come up with that name because it's a great name. It's catchy. It's good. And obviously you guys are playing a lot. You're getting out and getting seen by a lot of people. So tell me a little bit about your style. What does the band play? What are some of the songs people might hear if they come to one of your shows?
You got that, Parker.
I got that. Okay. So we're more on the country rock style, along with our originals. I mean, you come to our show, depending on the show, it's mainly going to be country, but we throw some classic rock in there because a couple of us are huge classic rock fans. We have some pop, but you're going to hear Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, then you'll hear Chris Stapleton. Oh, I'm trying to think of some Taylor Swift. Everybody wants to hear Taylor Swift.
Everybody's got to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we'll throw in some completely off the wall stuff. Our other guitar player, he'll do a whole theatric show of Tenacious D.
Randomly. We have to pick the show. It's got to be appropriate.
Yeah. So depending on where we play, our set changes. So.
Yeah. And we like to do one-hit wonders too. That's a big thing. Songs people forget about, but they're like, "Oh man, I really love that one."
Give me an example, a couple of those then.
Jessica Andrews, Who I Am. I bet people probably don't even remember who Jessica Andrews is, but you
Right.
start, belting out, I am Rosemary's granddaughter. And then everyone's like, oh yeah, I know that one, What's the other one that we do? We're like, man, Meant to Live by Switchfoot is one, I think. Parker, help me out here.
I'm trying to.
I don't have my set list in front of me.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up real quick. Yeah, because I try. Me being in a band for as long as I have, I try to pick out some songs for us that you're not normally going to hear.
Yeah,
so
he's great at that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I want to say hi to a few folks that are dropping comments in here. Jimmy Kilroy, thank you. Stacy, thank you for being here. And Brian as well. Thanks for dropping in. Hello, Ed Sawicki, photographer of the Rock Stars. Thank you for being with us today. Good to have you here. And all right, so you've given me a little background as to the music. And you said a little theatrics in there maybe too. You guys put on a little stage show. I mean, is it more than just the band up there playing tunes? Do you get the crowd really involved in that?
Yeah, we definitely try to a lot. If you've ever met our other guitar player, Ryan, he is we call him like a ray of sunshine because he just has so much energy and he is just always into it. And we all are. We're all very much into the music and we really love what we do. But when Parker was talking about Tenacious D, Ryan really gets into character with that one. But all the other songs that we do, we definitely try to keep the crowd involved. We try to do toasts and, get people singing along, and we have a lot of energy up there for sure.
Well, we always love a band that not only is good at their music, but also involves the crowd and connects with the audience. And I think that's so important on stage, especially when you're playing bar gigs and that, because that keeps them there. I mean, and that's the goal of the bar owner. I mean, they're going to pay you to play, but they want their customers to stay. They don't want them getting up saying, "Oh, this is boring. I'm out of here."
Right. We want them to stay.
You want them to stay and listen to your great music. So you mentioned the band member, you mentioned the guitarist, Ryan, I believe you said, right? Yeah. Let's talk about the other members of the band who couldn't be on today with us. Let's give them a little shout out as well.
Yeah. Parker, you got it?
Yeah, so we got Brandon Rinker, who is our bass player, sometimes does some backup vocals, and then Spencer Garrett, who is our drummer with the monster kit in the background. So, and we try not to give him a mic too much, but he gets to do some backup stuff. So, and then Ryan Stevens, who is our rhythm guitar player, backup vocals, and then he's got his moments to shine out there. He plays maybe 3 or 4 rock songs in the set, and he'll take over lead vocals. Does a killer Bon Scott impression.
Wow, awesome. Hey, Parker, can you do me a favor? Can you lean to the side there and let everybody see all those guitars you have? That is just beautiful. There it is. All right. That's spectacular, Parker. And those are all yours, right?
Yep, they're all mine. I got a couple that were handed down to me from my grandpa, and then I have, I think, 3 that are autographed to where I don't take those out.
They have therapy and meetings for people that buy that many guitars. I hope you know that, right?
I try to avoid them as much as possible.
You have a guitar problem like a lot of people do. I have a lot of them hanging on the wall, and I don't even play well. So I can tell you, I like to collect them for sure. Mm-hmm. So you've got this band, and talk about some of the places that you can be seen playing, some of the places that you frequent or gig out.
Venues or cities?
Yeah, venues, and then we'll talk cities as well too, if you want.
Okay. Well, venue-wise, we like to try and mix it up and go to as many places as we can. A place that I'm looking at my my calendar here just to double check here. We play at the Urbana Moose every year. That is a members only club, but they absolutely love us. We do a lot of festivals. We play at let me see here.
Got Lori's Roadhouse, which
we do Lori's Roadhouse a lot. That's down in Cincinnati.
I love Lori's. It's such a huge venue, though. I mean, you got to bring a lot of people to fill that bad boy up, but it's so much fun. It is.
Oh, yeah.
So have you opened for any nationals at Lori's? Have you guys opened before now? Who was that?
That was last October, I think, or September. We opened for Jody Messina down there, and that was just
sold out show. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It was absolutely packed. I've never seen so many people crammed in my life. It was so cool.
Were you nervous?
Actually, yeah, I was kind of freaking out a little bit. I normally do not get nervous. I've been singing on stage for, gosh, over 10 years. I don't get nervous. That one freaked me out for some reason.
That's a big stage and a big PA and a lot of moving parts to their shows. And that's an incredible venue. I just recently did a fundraiser there a couple of weeks ago, and we just have a blast at Lori's. They're just great people, and they're set up to do a concert right. I mean, they are, and that's the cool part about it. You're getting a big shout out from Tina Reed Ramsey from O'Connor's Irish Pub.
Oh,
you guys, thank you, Tina, for the comment. Thanks for watching today. Carla, thank you for that as well. She said, what a collection about your guitars. And David Linda in the house from Barely Able and Last Call. Thank you for being with us today. Got a lot of musicians checking in on the show. So as we're learning here about Allison Road, I want to talk more about the opening for nationals thing. Is that your goal, is to go big time and maybe even go on the road and tour a little bit?
Oh, that's $1 million question, isn't it?
Well, yeah, when you have families, it's hard. I know.
Yeah,
I mean, it is.
Yeah, it is. And opening for nationals is absolutely on our goal list. I mean, that is what we want to do 100%. Those are shows that people come to appreciate the music. They come to hear new music. They come to appreciate original music, and that is huge. As far as, touring, making it big, I mean, who wouldn't love that? If we could just make music our whole life, we absolutely would. I know I'm maybe speaking for me and Parker, that's 100% what we would love to do, not have to have a day job, and just make music everything. That would be amazing, right? But, Parker's got 2 kids, and I have a 3-year-old, and, the other members don't have kids just yet, but, when you do have kids, it changes things, and you just want to make you want their lives to be as normal as possible. So I think we're doing a really good balance with that. I mean, my 3-year-old got to meet Dina Carter in September and take a picture with her, and he was like, "Excuse me, who are you?"
Yeah, exactly.
3-year-olds don't get to do that kind of stuff, so he's still living his best life. Okay.
Well, that's gonna be a busy tour bus if you do decide to go on tour with all those kids running around. It'll be chaos. I don't want to be the driver of that bus. I think they'll have a lot of help.
We would love it, though. Absolutely love it.
Wouldn't it be cool? It would. And I love the fact that you're striving to open for nationals and all that. So many bands steer away from that, and I think that's a mistake, because the opportunity to network and connect when you're at those shows with just people that are there with that band, some of their entourage or management people and all that, is an excellent opportunity for any local band to do before a show when those nationals come to town. You're talking about playing before Jody Messina. I mean, yes, the crowd was there to see her. That as an opener, but the other side of it is maybe you gained a whole lot more fans that way, or friends, and that's an excellent opportunity for you. So I'm glad you got to do that. And let's segue into something else here. You guys seem to really be into your music, and you're into obviously Parker's got his addiction to guitars back there, and tell me about some of your musical influences as you grew up and as you started playing music. I'm going to start with Parker up there in the top. Parker, will you tell me some of your musical influences in life?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I got my grandpa who plays guitar, and my dad forced me to play guitar because he wanted someone else in the family to play guitar. But growing up, listening to all my dad's records, I'm a massive Van Halen fan. And then I got the newer stuff like Blink-182. I'm not the biggest country fan. I like 90s country, but I'm more like Van Halen and Kiss and along the lines like that. So
I like this guy more and more every day. All right.
I love Van Halen, and I'm a big fan of some of the Canadian rock bands. I love Rush, Triumph, April Wine. I'm all over the place. So
Well, I don't think you could find anybody that plays guitar professionally, whether they're a jazz player, a rock player, a country player, that wouldn't say Eddie Van Halen influenced him a little bit. I mean, it has to be, because he's just the guitar master. There's so many of them, but he's one. Yep. So, Allie, how about you? Any influences?
Oh gosh, Parker says he's all over the place. I'm for sure all over the place, and in a different way. Like I want to say, with my musical influences, I'm a 90s kid, right? So I grew up singing Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears and trying to sing into a tape player and mock what they were doing with their vocals, and just trying to learn techniques and that kind of stuff. But as far as like influences, I really got into country music when I was in high school. I always had it playing in the backgrounds, like 90s music as well. And my parents had it. Also, classic rock as well. I mean, we were huge Journey fans, Boston, REO Speedwagon. And I think I've gone to more classic rock concerts in my entire life than I've gone to anywhere else. Although my first concert was NSYNC. So, hey.
Did you just say NSYNC? Did I hear that?
Did. I did.
Love it.
I did.
I love it.
But, and this is, I know I'm like typical girl, but I mean, these are the things that I listened to and that, really got me into it. I loved watching performances. And so I really fed off of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you want me to name like really want like bands that really did, I would say, oh gosh, I would probably say Journey was a big one for me. I knew every song on the albums. I mean, that I would just sing multiple times over and over again to them.
Can't go wrong with Journey either. So you are all over the place, and I love that.
I know, I really am. I just love everything. I just love music, and I've always loved music.
Well, and you've got the Denny Cottle endorsement here. He says, I love this band. And then he turned around and said, Parker, be honest, you love Taylor Swift.
I like me some T-Swifty.
If you don't admire Taylor Swift in my book, you're missing the boat, because that young lady has figured out a way to make it happen and do it well. So, we could all strive to be what Taylor Swift is in business and in her professional life and personal life. Actually, I think she's a good class person. So
agreed.
That's something that we'll all agree on probably. And some people want to be haters, but we don't like haters on the show. We do not. Let's see who else we've got out there real quick before I get into the next little topic here. Quentin Fife from Ladder, thank you so much for being with us. Peggy, thank you for joining us. She says she loves all your music.
Oh, Peggy.
Peggy? All right.
Yeah.
And Peggy's shouting out Denny Cottle. Denny Cottle's like the rock star around here or something. I don't know.
He is, man.
And
fun fact, Denny is the original member of Allison Road.
He is. I actually formed Allison Road with Denny.
I love Denny Cottle. I can't say enough about him. He's just one good human being as well. So thank you, Denny.
Agreed.
Love my Den.
Tina's throwing out there some fun stuff. Definitely plays music for everyone. You have a wide variety and set list, and they kill it. Thank you, Tina, for that endorsement. Another person endorsing you guys today. Aww. Hi, Carrie. Thank you. And Denny is throwing laughter at us or something there. All right. Let me we've talked about artist influences and all that. Parker, you mentioned your grandfather for one, and Allie, you mentioned your dad naming the band. Mm-hmm. Let's go back in time to probably let's see if you can pull out of the air your fondest musical memory. That's something that you've done, whether you've played somewhere, done something, or somebody who influenced you the most. Let's talk about that. Parker, you're up.
Oh, geez. One of my fondest memories that recently happened that I can think of is probably when we got to open for Lainey Wilson. That was the biggest show I've ever been part of. So it was surreal to see all those people out there. I had my sunglasses on, so I didn't want to make eye contact with anybody because I probably would have panicked. But it was,
where was that?
That was at the Union County Fairgrounds. We won a battle of the bands and we got to open for them.
Wow!
And that was our second year being a band. So
could you think Lainey Wilson needs to send every year a little nice gift basket to Taylor Sheridan, who put her on Yellowstone and absolutely blew her music up. She was fantastic
Yes.
before that, but I mean, he saw some
Yeah.
talent there, and he made her so popular with everybody. I would have loved to have been around Lainey Wilson. I think she's got a great vibe too.
Mhm.
Yeah, she does.
Definitely.
That girl works her tail end off on stage too. I mean, it shows. She is all over the stage. I was winded watching her because she was amazing.
Well, that's good to hear because artists sometimes tend to get in the limelight and then kind of back off a little. I'm glad to hear she's still going full throttle because that's what everybody always talked about. The reason she became that popular was her energy on stage, and she's just got that cute country girl thing going on. I mean, just to hear her talk and everything else, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Allie, how about you from the fondest memories?
So I have two. The one that Parker just said, absolutely, by far, highlight of my career was playing for all of those people. And we also had a song release about was it a week before or 2 weeks before or something before that show. Was our very first song we ever wrote together as a band, and we had people singing it back to us, and that was just, if you want me to cry, sing my song back to me. That's the way to get me. But I would say, as far as like nostalgia goes, my fondest memory, because my grandma has since passed, I can remember sitting on her couch in her living room and playing her a Taylor Swift song. This is when I first figured out how to play guitar, and she didn't even care if I messed up. She just loved that I was doing that and that I sang it for just her. And she was just really excited and happy. And that was when she was kind of going through cancer. So I will always hold that really close to me.
That's a great memory. It is. And those are the kind of memories we cherish for forever and ever and ever. And music touches the soul. And I'm a firm believer in that. And you guys obviously are touched by the music that you play and the people that you meet along the way. And what you just said really rings home, Allie, is when you sing one of your original songs and people sing it back to you. I mean, that's when you know it's happened. I mean, it really, people have taken note, because so often when a cover band gets up and plays and they said, okay, here comes an original, everybody goes to the bar and get a beer. They're like, I don't want to hear that crap. I want to hear, Taylor Swift or somebody else. So when you can get them engaged in your own music, and that, I think it's wonderful. And that leads me to this. Do you have your music available for people to get if they want to pick that up somewhere?
Yeah. Parker, you got it?
Yeah, we got 3 songs out right now. It's everywhere you stream music: Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. I think you can even get it on Amazon too. But yeah, we got 3 out there. We got This Is Our Town, Girls Night Out, and Without You. And then Allie also has a song by herself called Where I Come From, which we play in our set a lot too. But we got more cooking in the studio right now. Yeah, almost done with the next one. So
yeah.
So is that a little teaser there? You got some studio stuff coming?
Yeah. We want to kind of steer away from releasing every single thing that we do in the studio, because we want to make it, we're working towards an album. We want a full album that we can release all together. But yeah, we might do some teasers if we can figure out how to do that here soon.
There you go.
Yeah, I would love to.
Well, I want to say this. You have mentioned a lot of things throughout the show today, but I want to talk one more time about, if somebody comes to an Allison Road show, they've never seen you play, what are they going to get to see and expect when they get there?
They're going to get an entertaining show. They're going to get a very tight show. We practice very, very much. We practice every single week. Everything is polished and good to go. You're going to get energy. You're going to get laughter. You're going to get comedic timing and funny things that happen. I might fall on stage. You just never know. You never know with us, but you're going to just have a fun night with us. We like to make it, music is what speaks to everybody, right? So no matter what you're going through in life, our goal is to, when you get to our show, that's all you think about. You forget about everything else. You're paying attention to us. You're paying attention to the music because we're there for you. If that makes sense. Hopefully.
Man, can I just say I love you guys?
Thank you.
I love your attitude about all this. That is perfect, and it's wonderful to hear somebody say that, because that's what people going out is about. It's not just to go out and blow off a little steam, drink a few beers or whatever. It's about forgetting the troubles you've had this week and enjoying some live music and smiling and dancing and having fun. And you just summed it up there, and that's perfect. And thank you so much for that. And I do have a couple more things. I know you guys have a little bit of a special announcement that you might want to make on the show. So why don't we get into that? Who's going to take that one?
Ooh.
We'll let you take that.
Me? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm zooming in,
Yeah.
so it's you. It's all you.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Okay, so hopefully, Parker, jump in if I get any of the details incorrect here. But
Okay.
So we, as a band, have been trying to figure out. We're all from Springfield, Ohio. So what we want to do is we want our music to not only touch people, but we also want to use our talents to help people as well. And Parker had a great idea, and we have just kind of run with it. So this June, it'll be June 21st, we will be doing our first annual Music Heals benefit. And what that means is that we are going to be putting on a concert that we already have three other local acts involved. And so there you'll be able to see 4 local artists or bands performing. And all of the proceeds from this event will go to Larkin Falk, which is Parker's little cousin, who is 4 years old, and he was diagnosed with leukemia. There's a specific name for this leukemia, which I do not have on the top of my head right now, but if you know what it is. It's kind of a long name, but their family, he has 2 older brothers. This sweet family is just going through so much right now, and we want to do everything that we can to help them. So we wanted to make this benefit first for them, and then in the future, we hope that it is a success and continue to keep doing this every year for a different local family that needs help as well. So music really does heal, and that's what we're trying to do with this.
Well, the love meter just went up another notch. So thank you. That is, I love people that give back too. I mean, you realize the community supports you, and you're going to support your community, and that's spectacular as well. So I appreciate that little sneak peek of that. And as we talk about it today, and Carla, I agree, it's very commendable for anybody who does something like that. She says that's beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And if I can add one little thing, we are looking for sponsors. So if there's any businesses out there that want to help and want to give back, we're going to look at, I don't know what the financials look like just yet. We're still planning period. We're still trying to figure all of that out. But I do want to make everybody aware that not a dime goes to anybody that is working this. None of the artists get any money. Every single cent of this will go towards this family. So if you want to donate or you want to be a sponsor, please reach out to us. You just go to AllisonRoadMusic.com. You can fill out a contact form and just write in what you want to do. And we're working on getting a tab on our website up and running specifically for this event as well. So stay tuned for that as well.
All right. And that website, AllisonRoadMusic.com, if you want to check it out today as well, if you're watching the show. If you're watching after we're live, please make some comments about this. And Allie and Parker, I will tell you, you have our commitment too to help you with that event. So if you want to do any promotion on the show or any of that, I'd be glad to jump in there and be part of that with you, and hopefully get some people to attend that event, because that's what it's all about. And it sounds like a wonderful cause, and you've picked a great cause for the first year for sure. And and also, annual events are great if you can pull them off and do it. Every year it gets easier. It does, honestly. I mean, it does. It's tough the first year because you're putting it all together, but it gets easier as you go. And people want to be a part of it too. And I think that what you said about all the proceeds going to the the cause is so commendable, and that's wonderful, and that the bands will come and play for their time just to help entertain and be part of that. Excellent. Parker, did you have something else before we go on?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say shout out to the other bands that are playing, because they said yes immediately once we picked, and then also a shout out to the State Theater for letting us host the event there. So,
and that's in Springfield, right?
Yep, it's Springfield.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. It sounds like a wonderful thing. Well, we're about out of time. And Allie's got to go back to work. It's lunch hour or whatever. I've got to ask my final question that I ask every artist that we interview, from national acts all the way to local acts. We ask this question. So I'm going to start with Parker up there. We'll give Allie a little extra time to think
Please.
here. But I will tell you, Parker, if you could take the stage with any artist, past or present, who would you want to play with?
That's a tough one, because I wouldn't want to play with them because I would embarrass myself. But
I get it.
If I could do just rhythm stuff, I mean, obviously Eddie Van Halen is my number one, but also Dave Grohl and Paul McCartney. Those are my three.
Wow. Could we put all three of them on stage at the same time?
I would
be
love
awesome.
that.
That would be spectacular. What a collaboration. All right. I'll take those. Those are three heavy hitters. Allie, you're up.
God, I don't know. Man, this is so tough. If I could take the stage with anybody. Gosh, okay. So my initial in my brain, it's actually not anybody other than myself, which just sounds so weird. But like, I would either want to take the stage with like past me or future me, if that sounds weird. Like past me, because I would just want to be like, it's going to be okay. This is what we're learning, and it's all right to like mess up and do the things, and like, it's okay. And then future me, because I want to see how far I go. But also, if celebrity wise that everybody knows, man, I don't know. There's so many great artists. You know what? We've mentioned Taylor Swift so many times, and I just want to live that life for a minute. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Me too. I just like to stand on stage and just see how it works. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, she's under that stage crawling down tunnels and doing stuff and popping up out of the floor. I want to see all that stuff. The production side.
I just
of it.
want to see the workings of that show.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
And when that woman goes on tour, she's an entire city moving from city to city, you know, so that's incredible. Yeah. And I always tell people, if I could go on stage with one person in my life that influenced me, I remember the first album I ever heard of theirs and it blew me away, is Prince. I'd love to, because he is so incredible and was so incredible in his ways of playing every instrument on most of his music and all that. Just somebody that I admire a lot. And so I'll throw mine out there real quick. How's that?
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's a really good one. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
And I love a lot of styles of music, and I do. And it sounds like you guys do too. And I love when you mentioned the ELO and bands like that, you know, growing up listening to those, and Journey. And then today playing 90s country when you're out doing cover songs and all that. It's a wide variety. And I just love you guys. I appreciate you being on with us. I can't wait to help be a part of your event and see if we can promote that for you and get some stuff cranking up here in the area, because we cover the tri-state, you know, Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky for the most part with our shows. And we'd love to be a part of that. So Allison Road Band, let's look at it again one more time on Facebook at Allison Road, and on the web at AllisonRoadMusic.com. Is that all right?
Yeah, that all looks great. We also have Instagram. You can follow us on there too.
There we go. The Insta.
We try on the TikToks. It's hard, man.
Me too. I struggle. I'm too old for TikTok, I think. Besides that, I can't dance, so I don't fit in on TikTok very well.
We don't do the dancing, but I will bring a harebrained idea to practice and be like, guys, let's play a game. And they're all like, yeah.
She's doing it again. There we go.
I'm like,
well, guys,
this is what we have to do, guys.
Thank you so much for joining me on the program today. And stay with me when we go off the air for just a second, if you can. Okay. But I do want to say, guys, you've been watching Wednesday with the Band here at All Around Town Radio with Allison Road. It's been a pleasure to have you guys on. Any parting thoughts before we go?
Thanks
Other
for
than
having us.
Yeah, thank you for having
That's
us.
great.
But also thank you to everybody that has supported us this far in our careers and is continuing to do so, and downloading our music and appreciating our craft and just everything that we're about. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We couldn't do it
Yeah.
without you.
Agreed.
Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you both. I appreciate you guys. You can tune in tomorrow live at 5 for our Who's Playing Out segment. It's brought to you by our friends at Heather's in Springboro, where we feature the best artists, bands, and venues in the tri-state and where they're playing all week. Until next time, we'll see you right here at All Around Town Radio. Get out and support live local music and the bands and venues that bring it to you, everybody.